Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I just did a total other video and I ran out of recording time, and the video wasn't that exciting. Anyway, I'm missing something. I'm missing my Gloobie. I'm casually trying to reach for it. Here. Oh my God. That was super entertaining, wasn't it? I'm sure. Anyhow, I just thought I'd tell you a goofy story of my childhood, how I got my first horse, because I know my friend Richard and Judith M. Villeneuve of Maine, who happen to both be Hungarian. Well, they like my stories of my childhood and stuff. I feel like I have a piece of popcorn in my tooth, and I haven't had popcorn in weeks. That would not be good. Yeah, and Mick enjoys stuff too, so it's goofy. I don't think it'll be that, mind-bending or anything, but I'll just tell you how I acquired my first horse, because maybe there are some people here that like horses and would like to hear that story, and if not, you can just suffer. No, I'm kidding, but I usually work politics into everything, or something about a talk show or a chat room, so I thought, just going to go back to the basics, and I will tell you how I got my first horse named Honeybee. Okay, my friend Kim Abbott got a horse. Her family bought her a horse. I'm going to reach for my coffee now. I did it. And, my parents decided, okay, you're allowed to get one, but not until 1979, and this was 1978 when they said okay. And I would have to pay for it, and I would have to pay for the barn, and I would have to help build the barn, and I have to do everything, that you do. I'm sorry. That was really bizarre. It was not a piece of popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure what it was, but I had to get that out of my mouth. I apologize, but I feel close enough to you that you're not going to scream and run into the night because there was something in my tooth. Okay, yeah, so life went on, and we just happened to notice a horse for sale in the paper, and it was a registered quarter horse. We went and saw her, but I wasn't going to make any decision until spring because that was the rules my parents said. So we did go and see her, and she was lovely. She was 15 hands high. She was a registered quarter horse named, they called her Farah. But her registered name was Gino's Go Bar, and she was this dark golden palomino color. In fact, in the winter, she would turn kind of what they call a sorrel, which is like a red. When she was at her best, she looked like a brand new copper penny, and her mane and tail were more like beige. They weren't white, like a trigger thing, but not quite triggerish. Okay. So my mother went, and I forget who all went to look at it, probably Kim. And I said, oh, she was nice or whatever, and life went on. Well, Christmas rolled around, and our family was strange. I know it's really hard to believe so far. But at Christmas time, what we did is, on Christmas Eve, we would go to church, of course, because my father played the trumpet on Christmas Eve every year in church. It was the only time he ever went. And he played Oh Holy Night. It was lovely and moving and tender and all that crap. So then we got done, and we would, come out to the house, and we would have, we would open the gifts from each other. And then Santa Claus, the next morning, how we did it was anything under the tree in the morning that was not gift wrapped was from Santa Claus. Now, clearly, I was 14 at the time. I didn't believe in Santa Claus anymore, but we still, did that. You'll be getting more in the morning from Santa and all this jazz. So the Moss family came over. We all had dinner. Actually, I think it was Christmas night. This moved on to, we had regular Christmas and everything was dandy. And then Christmas evening, December 25th at night, Mother turned to Dad and probably said it like this, but I wasn't paying attention closely because Mother is a horrendous actress. Oh my God. Blaine, I think we might have forgotten to give Lisa one of those presents. It's out in the trunk of the car. Would you mind getting it, please? So anyhow, it probably didn't go that bad, but she's really terrible at it. I'll tell you another story some other time, and Mick knows the one of which I speak. Oh, God, I was humiliated. Okay, so he brought in the gift, and I opened it up, and it was a photo album. And I'm like, thanks for the photo album. It's really nice. Thanks. And they're like, open it up. And they're all gathered around with, like, a camera and stuff, and a film crew came down from Channel 24 in Erie. I'm kidding, of course. And, I'm thinking, these guys are weird. So I opened the book, and there's a picture of an equine. It was a pretty dark picture, like it must have been taken in the evening, sort of. My father wearing his little plaid sports jacket, red and black check, kind of. The bigger pattern, like the Scottish, whatever it's called. You know what I mean, plaid. The man, oh, that plaid figure. My sister said whenever she would leave to go, this is back in the old days when they'd let you, like at Erie Airport, you'd be able to stand there and, see people fly away. It's kind of a small airport in Erie. She said she'll never forget. She would always look back and see a little plaid figure in the window waving her goodbye. All right. Okay, reeling it into the actual story. So he was standing there holding, an animal, and it had this big red bow around its neck. And the way the ears were, I said, Dad, what is this picture? I was really dumb, I guess. I didn't have my Columbo technique down yet. I said, Dad, what are you doing in here posing with Cousin Vivian's mule? Because our Cousin Vivian had a mule, and it looked just the way the ears were, and it looked dark. And they're like, turn the page, turn the page. So I turned the page, and that's when I saw her registration papers, this quarter horse that we had looked at. And I'm like, oh my God. And by the way, a couple days before this, people used to play tricks like they would bring dog manure to the front door and light it on fire, and people would stamp on it and get, somebody did that, but they didn't light it on fire. But I said, Mother, why is there a small bag of horse manure outside the door? She said, oh, I don't know, Nazi, that's her friend Nazi, was just teasing her, kidding around. I didn't think anything of it. So they were joking that she was going to be, okay. So, yes, I turned the page, and then I discovered I was a proud horse owner. I was freaking out, and Kim was freaking out, and I called my friend. I remember people I called and everything. Isn't that weird? Like, I called my friend Sharon May, who's now passed away. In fact, she died on Christmas Day. I don't know how many years ago, but, oh, God love that woman. Just bless her heart. But I called her and said, I got a horse. La-da-da-da-da. Well, it turns out it was the horse that we had looked at. Mother fell in love with it. Mother, I'm sure, I must do my nails to go to the post office. Fell madly in love with the horse. So, she was staying at another, they had arranged to board her until we built the barn. And I worked at Conneaut Lake Park. I worked for Interstate United Food Services in Conneaut Lake Park to pay for that barn. And back when we built it, would have been early, like 79 in the spring, $700 was the cost of that barn. It was really nice, too. Like, you went in, and there was, nice enough area, and then the stall was over here, and we had a loft. Oh, my God, and my father, he loved to do woodworking. He built it. He'd made a pulley, out of wood by himself, and he went on about that damn pulley. We can always use the pulley system. Don't forget to use the pulley system. You could really help that bale of hay out, help lift it up there if you just rely on that pulley system. That's what it's for. Oh, my living God. So, anyhow, that is the story of how I got the horse. And I decided I didn't really like the name Farrah. I mean, Farrah Fawcett was sort of popular at the time. But I named her Honeybee. And that was after another horse that I knew of named Honeybee. That Kim and I knew. I'm sure we knew a horse. But so, that was that. And then, and so I had her. And I actually had her even when I moved off to Houston. When did I move off to Houston? 83. I kept her for a while, and then it was just ridiculous. I mean, I was usually behind on the boarding fee because I was young and stupid. And the people, I mean, they were sweet enough. And even my friend Roseanne, I think they ended up having to keep her real quick because the people kept telling me, Lisa, we're going on vacation. We need you to find someplace else to keep the horse just for a month or something. I was so irresponsible. I never got back to them. So God love the Staub family for doing that as well. So, and I've apologized to them right away when I, a couple of years later when I grew up a little bit. I was young. So, that's really all. And she lived, I finally sold her. Actually just gave her away for back boarding fee to the people that, had been keeping her. Very nice people. They have a marina over in Espyville named Terry Irons. Some of you might even know them. I forget her husband's name, but her son is Clint. And they would send me photos. They were the sweetest people ever. They knew that I was young and stupid. That's all. And God love them for putting up with my shenanigans. So, what happened was Honeybee developed something called strangles. And it's a strange thing that happens to horses sometimes, too long to get into now. But she got kind of rude after that. And she only wanted to be near this other horse named Misty, I think it was. So they sold the two of them together as a pair. That was the deal. And they went to live in Erie. And then my friend Roseanne, I found out when I moved back home, of course, that Honeybee had died. She was only 21 at death, though, and that's not very old, necessarily. So something happened, and she had given birth. That's right, she had a baby, and then she died soon thereafter. So there's the tragic story of Honeybee. But we used to ride all over the place and do, my God, I had no fear. Then I'd, get on bareback and jump over hurdles and go galloping full blast with no saddle. I didn't even own a saddle till I got married. My husband, because I had Joe the pony for 20 years, I got him almost the second I got off the plane, like 1993. Bought him from Sharon May, the woman who I called when when we were kids and I got Honeybee. So, where was I going with that? I don't remember what I was saying at all. Something about, oh yeah, Joe. I didn't have a saddle until I got married. I got married in 95, I think. I never remember when I got married, ladies and gentlemen. It might have been 94. I never owned a saddle till I got married. Okay, in fact, I used to use Larry McMaster's saddle at the fair to run the barrels and things with, and he passed away tragically in a tractor accident. His daughter is the one who cuts my hair, Patricia Louise, the Christian who's a nice Christian. I guess I'm done. I can't believe this is 11 minutes about Honeybee, but I hope you all like it, the ones who like to hear these goofy stories of my past. I know it wasn't hilarious. It was a little heartwarming, give me that much, would you? Lounging with Lisa, video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Please remember to join together with me Please remember to join with me, drop your political identity so that we can focus on issues and maybe make this world a better place one day at a time. Clippity clop.